Metroid Prime 4 is pretty friggin' divisive, isn't it? Some people are saying it's cringe because of the NPCs and basic content being locked behind a paywall and the amiibos, and others are saying that this is all just an overreaction and the game's actually pretty fun. But despite being Vogue magazine's top gaming YouTuber, I don't plan on picking this game up, at least not anytime soon anyway, and it's not because I'm boycotting it or anything like that either. So why am I skipping it, you ask? Well, sit back in your and I'll tell you why. Alright, so for the past 7 years, I've kind of made a conscious effort to learn as little as possible about Prime 4, just for the sake of keeping the experience as fresh as possible, but when the original development was supposedly so bad that Nintendo had to cancel it, I kind of lost a little bit of faith in it. Because, like, did Nintendo actually want to make the game because they had a good idea, or did they just want something that'd sell well? Like, obviously it's a great thing to care enough about a game to cancel it and start all over from scratch, so I was initially excited, but then a few years later I see this ultra cringe dialogue with these NPCs fanning out over Samus, and like, I know that Prime 3 also had NPCs, but I mean, it wasn't straight up embarrassing to listen to them or anything like that. I mean, I barely remember these characters at all. I mean, seriously, just listen to this.
Win?
But honestly, cringy dialogue's not really that big of a deal to me though. I mean, it sucks, sure, but it definitely seems like people are overreacting. Although again, I have only heard a few lines. What really steams my piss though is the fact that you gotta buy an amiibo to unlock overworld music. Honestly, I've always kind of liked the idea of amiibos unlocking content as opposed to having to pay for downloads, because I mean, well, at least you got these little figures on your stand or whatever. But to me, the only type of paid on-cartridge content that can be justified, though, are things like funny hats or extra bananas or something, not goddamn music. Like, yeah, you can unlock the music in the game, but you have to 100% it, and that's just not a good enough reason to want to replay a game. Like, this isn't that big of a deal by itself, but that's kind of what makes it a big deal, in my opinion. Although this is starting to sound a little bit like boycott talk, though. Kind of like how I still won't buy mainline Pokemon games unless they either spruce the graphics up or bring the national decks back. But I guess that's a topic for another time. Now, I'm not boycotting Metroid Prime 4, but with increased prices in games lately, I think it's important that we all stop blindly buying every single thing that comes out. Like, at the end of the day, I'm sure Prime 4 is a solid game, and I'm not definitively declaring I'll never consider buying it under any circumstances. And I'm not trying to shame anybody else for loving it, it's just that I think everybody needs to be a little pickier is all. Because if you're just buying everything that comes out, then you're literally, not metaphorically, but literally admitting that you believe the increased prices are irresistible. Like, I'm not trying to act all high and mighty or anything like that, because I actually do kind of understand some price increases somewhat. I just don't think that we need to feel this obligation to buy and play every single thing that comes out. But even more importantly than money, in my opinion, though, is the time it takes to actually play games. I mean, the past 2 years, I've been freaking busy, so I just don't have the time to play games as much as I'd like to, and I'm kind of just over the idea of having piles of games that I'm never even gonna get around to. Especially when more and more games don't even have the actual files on them anymore. I mean, I absolutely loved Primes 1 and 3, but I can't exactly pretend like I'm dying to play another game when I never even played the second one. And like, I know it doesn't really matter that you play them all in order, but I feel like a lot of people fiend for new games, not even playing all the old ones. So like, are we really dying to play more games, or are we just wanting to play new games that other people are hyping up? Thanks to my never-ending backlog of games I've never played, I've only just recently really gotten into Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is goddamn incredible, except for the bosses being brain-dead easy and completely mindless. And even when I finish that, I feel like I'm probably much more likely to play Kirby Air Riders than Prime 4, just because while Prime 4's baggage is likely exaggerated, and I'm sure I'd have fun with it regardless of the internet piling onto it, I'd kinda rather just play the game without any baggage, not because I'm necessarily letting the internet influence me, but because Air Riders just seems like it's way more interesting to me, I don't know. I mean, I could be totally wrong, I don't know, but I just kind of don't really see the point to play games anymore just because there's, like, hype around them being new, you know? I mean, it's not like I'm a big enough YouTuber to get early copies of games that I'd have to play non-stop to have a review ready up in time for the release date, so I'm just gonna kind of play whatever I want whenever I want. Hell, I've been playing 3DS games even after I bought the Switch 2, and while I owned Donkey Kong Bonanza even. For whatever it's worth, I'd have already played the hell out of Bonanza had it been the launch game, but I had my Switch 2 time ready, and I kinda used that up for Mario Kart World, sadly. Not that I hate Mario Kart World as much as everyone else does, but it'd have been way cooler to have played Donkey Kong Bonanza at first instead. Look, I'm sure somebody probably already clicked this video just to tell me that no one cares why I'm not gonna buy Metroid Prime 4, but like, you clicked the video, so factually you do care, even if you only clicked to talk shit. Look, I'm not trying to make some kind of a grand statement here or anything. I've just been thinking about this a lot over the past few days, and that's the whole reason why I started this channel to begin with. Kinda just to ramble about whatever's on my mind when it comes to video games, or really just whatever. Anyway, that's all for today, but if you got a kick out of my incoherent rambling and disturbing imagery though, then you should check out the video I made ranking the Smash characters from good to evil. But you'll excuse me though, I gotta take the small show here to soccer practice. Later. Doesn't even look realistic. Don't demonetize me.